Well, this was different. I definitely didn't know what to expect. This ain't what I was expecting, though, child. Oprah, do you still work here? Is Oprah still, does she have an office anywhere or phone number? I'm just curious. It says OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network. That's what it says. Have y'all started like handing out your questionnaires down to the state pen, checking release dates, and be like, when this young man over here gets released from government institution? I don't mean the kind with deans and principals and professors and things. I mean the kind with like correction officers and wardens and things. Did this man have any luggage? Or was it just rubber band attached to one of those little carts that old ladies like bring their groceries in, y'all? This is a new show, The Never Ever Mets, Season 1, Episode 1. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk about it. That's what we're here for. So, new show over here on the Oprah Winfrey Network own. In case I didn't mention that before. Um, the show is about people who've been dating online and they've never met before. So far, I liked the concept. It's a good concept. So they're going to come here. They're in California. They're meeting for the first time, and they'll be staying at this house all together with all these people that they've never met before. And I'll be damned if I let the Oprah Winfrey Network production company over there be picking out strangers for me to spend the night with. Mm-mm. Y'all can't be trusted like that, like that. I'm just saying. I get the concept. It needs some tweaking, for real, for real. Tyronda Jones is the hostess. She's used to be on Empire. I thought when I saw her, I was like, oh, she looked familiar. I don't know where I've seen her from. But now when they say she was an Empire, I remember her over there. Anyway, every show has a host or a hostess, and we got Tyronda. So I don't know what she has to do with anything, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. There's far bigger fish to fry over here than we're about Taronda and what she doing. I trust her. Let's run it. So the ladies all arrive at this house that they have set up for them, and they're, the man in their life that they've been dating for, various amounts of time. It's kind of like college dormish, sort of prisonish, the way all those beds are like lined up next to each other. Now you want me to like lay in a bed next to some person that I have never met before. I'm stressed. I don't know about this whole setup, but okay, like where am I putting my bags? In case somebody's trying to take my things. I don't know these people. It's okay. I'll be all right. So, they get to the house, they check it out, they set their things together wherever they're going to sit them. And they find out that this is where they're going to be staying. Taronda's going to be their hostess. And tonight, what we have planned for the ladies is to go on their first date with this person that they've never met before, but they've been talking to for various different amounts of time. Sienna is 43 and Brandon is 35. He lives in New York. No, she lives in New York. She lives in New York. He lives in Florida. We got a little younger man situation going on, but I'm very much pro that. Do it how you need to do it. They've been dating for 10 months. They're an attractive couple. When you see them together, they definitely match. She is apprehensive about letting her guard down and becoming vulnerable as she should be. So I don't think there's any reason to do any of those things just yet. Just to go see what it is. See what it is with Brandon. See, it's 10 minutes. It's 10 months. Like, how long are you supposed to carry on with this? There was a time when I would say, ain't no way I would relocate, my life. And it was in a different time. You know what I'm saying? Because now with so many remote jobs, if you've been somewhere and you're like, what the hell? I can go live in New York or vice versa, go live in Florida. If it don't work out, it don't work out. And, I can work remote. You know what I mean? So it doesn't seem like a crazy idea if it's for the right situation. That's all I'm saying. So far, they make sense. I'm not gonna sit here and read too much into it because they just met for the first time. You know what I mean? So she said in her description of their first, you know, date in person, she said he's lighthearted and he's intelligent. Those are definitely good qualities. And she said, he gives her happy feelings. And that's as much as she can get. And I was like, okay, Sienna, you make sense. 10 months, okay. It's a friendship. You're getting to know each other. So, if you like this guy, see what happens. I ain't really, that wasn't my thing, the online dating thing. And definitely not with somebody who's like that far away. Like for the couple of times I did it, I need somebody within a 50-mile radius. And nobody gonna be doing like if it's not that close, then I'm not gonna be probably putting in no effort to be trying to get back and forth to New York when I know I'm not doing that. But like I said, now, the way people are working, I mean, I don't really have a job that could be worked remote either, but I'm just saying. So next couple, Alex is 30, Dominique is 31. Alex lives in Texas, Dominique lives in Illinois, quite possibly just released from the state penitentiary based on his behavior. He didn't say that. It's allegedly stuff that I just made up in my head based on the way Dominique showed up over here on the Oprah Winfrey Network on the own channel over here. And if this is what we're going to be doing over here, it might be better tried on Zeus. And I don't Zeus. They've been dating for 6 months. And we can stop call it dating. That's not what we're doing. This nigga went on the internet. He found some girl in Texas and they would start DMing each other and talking to each other like he ain't got nothing to do. He just got out of jail. He just sitting around, looking for something to do, I suppose. Yoga. He's been getting into yoga. And so he invites her over on a yoga day. He don't really look like no yoga instructor. I've told you what I think he looked like. And so I'm not going to keep going. And none of these assumptions are made based on his visual appearance. It's all based on the way he acting out here in these streets. She just met him, but I just met him too. And the first time I met him, I saw him putting his hands on somebody. So he's not my favorite. This little man, Dominique, over here with a beer belly and some chicken legs, had the audacity to say, oh, hey, she really don't match up with her picture. The proportions ain't really proportioning. She's attractive, but her body ain't hitting. That's what he said. And she was definitely heavily photoshopped. I will give it that. But if you couldn't tell that, I mean, they got internet in jail. So I don't know why you didn't know that people be out here doing photoshopping. And it looked photoshopped from what we were saying. She says she think he fine as hell. And the sexual chemistry is very strong. Now, even though according to him, he ain't really like feeling her body like that, he still decided to test it out and proceeded to mount her as she bent over doggy style upon meeting this man 30 seconds ago. Seemingly, inmate yoga is good for your back because she was stretching her back out for later. And I'm like, y'all, okay then. Never mind the fact that when she got to the house with the ladies, the first thing that came out of her mouth was that he was, what she say? He got a bad temper. How do you know he's got a bad temper and you haven't even met him yet? After they finish their inmate yoga and he's done humping all over this lady that he just met that doesn't really like that much, but decided he got tested out anyway, they decided to have a few mimosa snacks. I'm noticing on this set, since they said the people over at the Oprah Winfrey Network at OWN don't really like to feed people. So these people had lots of cheese and crackers. That's what these two were having, and everyone else. Cheese and crackers. Feed him something, child. Because I don't know that it's a good idea. I feel like she's can keep up with him. It's almost a weird match made in heaven that makes me uncomfortable. Dominique admitted, like, even though I wasn't really attracted to her at first, I think she's cool. So maybe, we could work on this thing. We both like being jealous and possessive. Um, we're actually two very clingy people, so I can see why we would want to match up with each other. And so, I guess that's cute or whatever. Let's get to the next couple. Ciao. This was another interesting couple. You got Millie, she's very beautiful. She's 32, and you got Greg, he's 31. He's also a very nice looking young man. They both live in California. They both been in the same city dating online for 3 years. So make that make sense. Two very attractive people who somehow have found themselves attached to someone who doesn't want to actually meet in person. This is why I don't want to call it dating. What are y'all doing? Do y'all want to meet each other or not? I don't understand why this TV show had to be the first time you meet each other. I think Greg probably lives with his girlfriend or a girl, and that's why you can't come by there. Maybe she be at work and he be at the house online talking to your ass for 3 years. He said that the reason why they haven't met is because he's just insecure that he might mess it up. And I'm like, okay, Greg, that's the best you got? You had 3 years to figure it out, and that's the best you come up with? Let's see. The guys are planning a date. So he plans a date, a free one where you go to the lakefront and ride around in pontoon boats and, shaped like a swan. And I mean, $10 an hour at best, I'm thinking. If that, sometimes it's free. So here we go. He came with a big penguin. What do you want me to do with that? Sit it in my room. I'm not 17. I'm not even going to say it. Let me just follow my notes before I get myself in trouble. I mean, they're an attractive couple too and everything, but I feel like this ain't, it just doesn't make sense. Why we been here for 3 years? Does he not have a car? Do you not have a car? So Greg says he thinks she's fire now, and she is a very pretty girl. He said, but I'm not gonna tell her because women like when a man plays hard to get. And I'm like, no, they don't, stupid. That's not how that goes. Men like women who play hard to get. That's how that goes. And you so insecure that don't leave the house ever to come meet this person that you've been talking to for 3 years is all of a sudden an expert on what women want. I mean, they ride off in the pontoon boat together. I guess she'd like it. She just as bad as he is sitting around wasting time. I'm not understanding what is the end goal. You know what I mean? I need to know, like, some of these are not so bad. It makes sense. I feel like if you have a guy in New York and you live in, where is it at? No, she live in New York, he live in Florida. 10 months is not a long time to try to figure out, let's take the next step. And the next step is meeting each other and seeing what happens after that. That's not crazy. Being in the same town and online dating for 3 years without meeting is a whole nother what's going on. Both of y'all must have something going on. He lived with his girl, she lived with her man, and they over here, I don't know what they doing. About to end up on the news the way they going. Josh and Shay. Josh is 32, Shay is 30. Okay, now, just when you thought 3 years was a bad. Josh lives in Tennessee and Shay lives in Miami. They've been dating 12 years. How old is she? 30? That's like their life. She was a baby when she started talking to this guy. And both of them. No, it's really making me sad. What's going on? He takes her to an amusement park and when they meet each other, they go to slobbing each other down. But hell, they've been waiting since they were children to meet each other. I don't know if it's a disaster or a whole romance. It ain't feeling real romancy because Josh has two kids. One is 12 years old or 13 years old. So he was that one was in the picture, before they got together. Then he's got what, like a 3-year old? Like, so in the last 3 years, he fell into something. What was it? What did he fall into? I mean, like a relationship or a drive-by, or what was happening? And I heard her say she hadn't had sex for 12 years. And I'm like, for real? She been waiting since she was 18 years old? Shay, that is not a dress. That's a top. I feel like that's a top, and you should have some leggings or some little jean shorts or something on under there. You're about to get on the roller coaster and put your cootie cat all over the seat. Shay and Josh love each other, but they got to figure out like where they're gonna live. He can't be too far away from his kids. Does she have any kids? No, she been saving herself for Josh. I don't want to get involved in this one. When I look at how old they are compared to like, how long this has been going on. Well, child, y'all had 12 years to figure it out. I'm guessing you're gonna figure out something. Chris and Sadia. Like, yeah. Okay, so there's Chris and Sadia. I don't know how old they are. I forgot to find out. Somewhere 30, I think. Um, they're both from Florida. So what are they doing over here? These two people came from Florida. They couldn't find each other over here. And now they're all the way in California finding each other. They've only been dating for 3 months. So, I mean, I guess they're getting a vacation out the deal. She need to leave his ass in LA. They have a whole lot of sexual tension. That's what Chris said. Chris said the sexual tension is on 100, 1,000, 1,000,000, because they be over here texting and sexting, sex texting a lot. When you see them together, they look good together. But I mean, y'all could have went on a date in Florida. It sounds just as much bullshit as Millie and Greg. And here you can drive just about anywhere in 2 hours. I could drive from here to Miami in 3 hours. Like nothing is really that far unless you're coming from Georgia all the way to Miami. He takes her on a helicopter ride because he said, she said she's always wanted to do that. And I was like, you always wanted to do that. You live in Florida. You can do that for $50. That's not that big of a deal. But I mean, I guess she always wanted to do it. So congratulations, people. They got their little serving of wine and cheese and they sat there and, looked into each other's eyes and I don't know. Probably talk nasty if that's all they've been doing this whole time. Next couple, Aaron, 27, and Joanna, 31. Joanna lives in Illinois. Aaron lives in Georgia. They've been dating for 9 months. He just plans, his date's not really a date because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing because he's just 27 years old. And Miss Cranky ass Joanna over here, like basically, I think sees this fine boy on the internet with his finely groomed eyebrows and dangling earrings and his banana hammock bikini bottoms on. And she thought it would be a good idea to like turn him into her man. And he's over here acting like he's never been on a date with a girl. They're sitting on the side of a mountain having another, cheese and crackers and some wine. He doesn't know how to drink. He doesn't know how to open the wine. Cranky Pants is over here like tiring him. He said they were supposed to meet up one other time, but he had lost his ID. So obviously you can't get on a plane without an ID. And she's like, hey, he only has one ID. I only have one ID. I don't know how many IDs you got, but here in the state of Florida, they only let you have one. So you can't be out here being tricky. Unless you're talking about his passport, which he don't even know how to open a bottle of wine. He said he took a salsa class, and so he wanted to like do a little something with her. And so they got up to dance, and he took the salsa class when he was 8 years old, so he doesn't remember any of the moves. She didn't like the way he was standing there when she walked up. Oh my God, he's standing there posing. It's so corny and weird. Now he's walking slowly over to me like a romance novel. He's a hot boy. That's what they do. He wants to get off and lean on the thing, get a good shot over here, get a good shot over there. You should be wary of how you went trotting up the stairs. You're gonna be mad at yourself when you see it, girl, on TV. You're gonna be like, dang, I should have did the same thing he did and saunter over. I don't know, Joanna. I feel like if you're going to entertain a 27-year-old, then you're going to have to lower your expectations. Not everybody is like, worldly, well traveled at such a young age. So you're going to have to be patient with this young man. And if it's a grown ass man you might want to like rethink the situation. You talk about you just love the way he was just so like attentive and things. You thought he was hot, and so you went ahead and y'all communicated with each other. And you probably still will. Last couple. Is this the last couple? I think so, child. Diamond. Diamond with a Y. She wants to make sure you know that. That's silly. It looks like Draymond. This doesn't look like Diamond. It looks like Draymond. She's 44. Her man is Aaron. He's 51. Now, these are grown people. So what y'all gonna do? Relocate your whole life? Do you have grandchildren? I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out what these people got going on because it seems very juvenile, if you ask me. She's from Florida. He's from California. That's very far. They've been doing this for 5 years. You have the pen pal girl for 5 years. He's dressed like Bishop Don Juan, and she's got the beauty supply store edges glued around to her forehead. Why is that a thing? Why can I buy a pack of edges? And you live in Florida. How hard is it to keep that shit glued to your forehead through the summer or any other time? I don't know. I feel like that might work in other places. You know what I'm saying? California even, but you cannot go around in Florida with your edges glued onto your forehead. They're gonna slide off. I don't like them. They're both preachers' kids. Aaron wants us all to know that he's a BBW lover. Thank you for sharing. It's giving fetish. It's giving something else, but it's giving, can I be honest? It's giving I target women with low self-esteem that does things like glue their edges to their forehead. At some point, Aaron made a wrong turn and found himself engaged to another woman 2 years ago. How you do that? He said figured it wasn't gonna happen. And I get it. You live in California, she lives in Florida, but after 5 years, I'm wondering like what conversations are y'all having after this? You just gonna meet up in the show and then she gotta go back home. Unless y'all are making plans, like honestly, like I'm not calling y'all old or anything, but I feel like decision making needs to happen much faster when you get, 40, 50. And she seems more mad about the fact that he put the ring on Facebook than the fact that he engaged himself to somebody. She said she needed closure. I guess she got it. She was really excited by some tulips and whatever hell else he bought her. He ain't come empty-handed. So now we're getting back to the house. Now the guys get to the house because they didn't get to, check things out earlier. And so Shay and Josh go straight to the bedroom. After 12 years, I'm not even going to pick on them. Let them go ahead and do whatever it is they need to do, child. This may be the one love story in this damn house. Now that I'm like saying it out loud, it sounded crazy at first, but geez. Everybody else is in the kitchen preparing for a spaghetti dinner. And all I could think of is like, I cannot live in the house with these strangers and I cannot eat stranger spaghetti. That's not coming from a restaurant. If they're gonna be living in this house, y'all better feed these people. That's all I'm saying. It's not like on Ready to Love where they get to like go home and y'all keep them from eating all day, but they can like go grab something on the way home. They're sitting in the kitchen and young Aaron shares with the ladies that he's actually an aspiring rapper. He was over there making, album covers and things, promoting his skills. And then Alexis was like, well, let me hear you say something. And so he started doing this little thing, spitting his little verse. And while he doing his thing, Dominique walks in looking all crazy, talking about, dang, I just went to change my clothes and you're already over here getting serenaded and things. She's like, he said he was a rapper. And I said, let me hear you rap something. There was other people sitting here. I wasn't the only one here while he was rapping. Convict. The guys are sitting around getting to know each other. The ladies had that moment earlier. Chris is telling these guys, like, look, I treat a lady really nice, like give her good 3 nights, and then after that, I'm ghost on her for about 2-3 weeks. You got to keep them in line because they always gonna be looking for something else. So you got to make sure that they, stay focused. Can't just like love them too much because they don't know how to act. And the whole time he's running his mouth, his girl is like listening. And he's like, I'm not dating Sienna. I'm not exclusive. Clearly not. Y'all both live in Florida and y'all never went bothered to go find each other. So I don't know what you doing over here. Trying to get your numbers up and get your blue check. He over there talking about, I get girls. I got a lot of girls. Okay. So then why are you here? Wasting this girl's time. And she talking about she feels uncomfortable. You should feel grateful. You should feel grateful that you heard that nonsense. He did you an absolute favor. Now you can move accordingly. You probably won't. He took you in a helicopter ride. Now you think, he's the moon and the stars. You get you a good coupon. You could bring a friend. Y'all can do it too for $50. You live in Florida. Everybody standing around in the kitchen, everybody seems to be getting along well, but that's always the case on the first night somewhere. Anyway, everything was going fine until Alexis had to open her big mouth and want to talk about Greg's hoochie daddy shorts. And then she proceeded to say hoochie daddy 411 times. And I was like, oh, now this man's pissed because you keep on saying hoochie daddy. And you got over here getting rap songs serenaded to you, and you're doing all this flirting with the 2 tall, handsome niggas in the house. We already agreed we're going to be clingy and jealous over here. Possessive. Alexis is over here violating the understanding that we made over on the rooftop when he had you bent over in a downward dog because he's a yoga instructor. Sure. Now it's 2 a.m. He's still mad about it. Everybody in the couples have paired off and it's time to snuggle. Not Dominique. He's probably a little bit saucy and he's thinking about all that flirting she was doing earlier today, being disrespectful, making me look bad out here in these streets. I tell you what, you niggas. He told Dominique, what if I looked around and said, like, this girl over here got a fat ass. Next time I see a girl, I'm going to say, yeah, you got a fat ass over there. And she's like, what, I'm supposed to care about that? I'm supposed to care you said some girl got a fat ass? I got a fat ass. My ass ain't flat. And I was like, well, not anymore. But it do look like you did get one of those Dominican Republic discount BBLs. It's a little oblongish, and he's not wrong. The proportions ain't really proportioning, but that's besides the point. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. Now he got her hemmed all up in his arms, and she's smiling, and he's fussing, and poor Josh is confused, and he's like, I can't tell. They keep laughing. I don't know if it's like for real or not for real, but it was making him uncomfortable. We were all uncomfortable too. We just met these people. Now we got this drunk inmate over here being too aggressive and handsy with this lady who seems a bit naive and a little bit, promiscuous, but hey, she's an adult and she can do whatever else she wants to do. I don't know. The shit got ugly. He went from grabbing to pushing to her swinging. And I was like, it seems like she's one of these girls that, thinks violence and love, coincide with one another, because it was weird. Like Josh was saying, the first time I watched it, I was just like, what the, and I didn't know how to process it. When I look at the couples individually, like you got some problematic things and you got some maybe let's see things. And so I'm not mad at the show. I'm not mad at the concept. We ain't never had it before. And we know over here at the Oprah Winfrey Network on the OWN channel, they really don't do a great job of, I don't know, vetting these people, or I don't know, feeding these people. So, shit, play at your own risk over here. I bet you I'm gonna take my ass over there. But that's neither here nor there. Nobody expected this. This is the first episode, and I don't think any of us want it. Nobody wants it. Next week, you can see this girl over here debating on whether or not she's gonna talk to him again. And old Aaron is like, "Are you out of your mind? Do you remember when you was over there trying to defend yourself already on the first day you met this nigga?" I mean, I hope they go away, because it can only get worse from here. I'm saying it's supposed to be a little bit fun. It's not supposed to make everybody walk away feeling speechless. Like, okay, that's never cool. We thought it was bad when Jonathan snatched Alex down on his lap and he didn't get in trouble and walked around saying, "Oh, I was a little saucy." This is like way worse. So please don't let this be a thing. Send that lady back to Chicago or Texas. Send that lady back to Texas. And, this dude, Dominique, keep behaving the way he is. He gonna be taking a few more classes down to the institution where he just got released from. I would rather focus on whether or not these people are gonna get along in a relationship, see what happens, and not whether or not they're gonna be assaulting each other. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. We'll be back for the next one. Bye, y'all.